What he said, this is government facts, guys. 3% of Americans control 97% of the money. If you're not making over $250,000, you're not in that 3%. You're in the 97% that's fighting over the 3% of the money that's left over. 87% of American workforce retires at poverty level. I told you all that. 95% of American families cannot write a check for $5,000 at the time of their retirement without it bouncing. The average net worth for a 50-year-old American is $2,600. He's out of Washington, people. Did you know from age 18 to 65, the average person's net worth in America increases by $2? That's it. So most Americans, when they're 18 years old, Ed, they have all the money they're ever going to have. So what Scott said is right. There's so many people out there that need to be handing out this card. You can't count them. I mean, they need to be doing this. Now, how many of you in this room would like to have sponsored me? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you would have liked to have sponsored Troy Brooks? I think so. Okay. Do y'all have any idea who Scott Mills is? You don't. By the way, he just became a national marketing director last week. He's been featured on some of our things. He's on our Wolfpack. You can go see him because on our Wolfpack, guys, we're going to put this live and in person. Scott Mills, who is he? Oh, I don't know. He's a kid from Alabama. And one day what he did was he put a few cards in an envelope. He knew me from another business. That other business, I was the national training director for that business. I was making about $40,000 a month. It was pretty good. On the side, I was still doing more surgeries in Orangeburg, Kentucky than any surgeon of any type. I'd done that for 31 consecutive years, and that was part of those 31 years. So Scott knew me, so he sent me several of these little cards in an envelope, and he said, "Dear Doc, use these and let me know what you think." I looked at them, and I threw them away. I didn't know what they were. He didn't tell me what to do with those cards. And I knew Scott from that previous business, and he was a good guy, you know. I threw them away. About a week later, Ed, I get a telephone call. Scott says, "Doc, what's in everything cards?" I thought, "Oh, do I tell him the truth?" I said, "You know what? I think I've misplaced those." Well, that's the same thing as throwing them away, isn't it? Okay. And so I said, "I think I misplaced them." He said, "You misplaced them?" I said, "Well, yeah, but I stuttered." He said, "Doc, you need to do this." I said, "Do what?" He said, "You need to give those away." I said, "Really?" And he kind of briefly told me about it. I said, "Hey, honey," I said, "I'm pretty busy. I'm doing about 80 hours of urology a week. I'm one of the principals in the Thrifty Nickel. I've got 3 other companies." I said, "I don't have a lot of time, honey." He said, "Doesn't take much time, blah, blah, blah." I gave him all the excuses that everybody gives, most of us. He said, "Can I come up there and show it to you?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess." "Which day?" I said, "The only day I've got free is Sunday because I'm working 6 days a week." He said, "Good. Which Sunday can I come?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "How about this Sunday? Urgency." I said, I thought, if that idiot's crazy enough to come up from Alabama to Kentucky, I'll give him a couple hours. He came, I did. And guess what he did before he came? He kind of wanted to seal the deal, so he called an awfully good friend of mine named Donnie Dortch. Donnie and I grew up together. He was from Sugarville. I was from Cool Springs. Not very big places. So Scott called Donnie. He'd been calling him about this for several times, and Donnie hadn't done anything. And Scott said, "Donnie, I'm going up to Owensboro to see Dr. J. Ross this Sunday." "Oh," Donnie said, "Whoa, but that card?" He said, "Yes." Donnie knew what I'd done in other businesses as well. And he said, "Yeah, I may put him in." Donnie said, "Well, no, wait a minute now. What if I got in first?" And Scott said, "Oh, you want to join now?" Okay. And so Scott sponsored Donnie, and then they came up here, and Donnie Dortch sponsored J. Ross, who sponsored Charlie Earls, who sponsored a girls' home in Florida. And J. Ross decided to let Troy Brooks come under that girls' home so that could benefit them. Do y'all think Scott Mills would have ever met Troy Brooks in his life? Do you think Donnie Dortch would have? No. You see, Troy Brooks and his work ethic and his work response, as Scott's talking about, is going to benefit not only himself, not only Ricky and Sarah. See, this is his downline. He's going to benefit his upline. These girls, our dear friend Charlie, me, Donnie, Scott, and everybody to heaven. Okay? This is cool. But you can't win if you don't begin. And if you call people, and they all... Had I missed this, had I thrown those cards away, and had I not gained an understanding of what I was about to throw away, you all realize not one of you would be in this room tonight? Is that cool? That's horrible. If I had not done this, and then I found out years later what I missed, I think I would have been sick at my stomach, Phyllis, every morning of my life. Is that amazing? So I was over the other day and I had a doctor and they were talking, and one of the doctors, I heard him say this, he doesn't care for me much, I don't think, and I heard him say to the guy, I said, if he's making all that money, what's he driving that Honda hybrid for? Well, then this other fellow turned around and realized that I had overheard that. The other guy went that way. So this guy came back toward me, the other doctor that I do like and I know, he was kind of going to be apologetic, and I said, doesn't matter, honey, doesn't matter. I'm not so worried about the car I drive. I worry more about the plane I fly. See, a car just gets me to the plane. See, so you guys are worried about cars. I'm worried about planes. There's a whole different attitude here. Okay? But let me tell you what, and I'm not bragging, because I'm going to take a bunch of you to Taos, New Mexico with me on our plane. Right? I'm going to take a bunch of you to my place in St. Thomas at the Ritz-Carlton on our plane. I'm going to take a bunch of you to New Orleans to my place down there on our plane. Okay? Because we're going to win and succeed together. That's what this is all about. This is about sharing and caring. Right? This is about teaching each other to teach each other. That's what this is all about. So we're going to do it together. And we're going to win together. Those of us that choose to win. It'll be our choice. Rick Pitino wrote a great book. Back to my books. He wrote a great book. The title of the book is Success is a Choice. But all throughout that book, Pam, he reminds you that if you are to have success, it's got to be your choice. It's got to be your choice. I can't choose it for you. I can't want this badly enough for Jim Richards. He'll have to want it for himself. I can help him, but I can't want it badly enough for him. You'll have to help a little bit. But, you know, if we're going to dance, if you move your foot, I'll move both of mine. If you move yours, I'll move mine 3 times. Okay? I'm a good dancer. But you've got to move, Jim. And if you don't move a little bit, guess what I'm going to do, Sarah? I'm going to go over here and see if you want to dance, because that fool doesn't want to dance. I mean, somebody's got to move their feet if we're going to dance. Okay? But I will take the first step and several thereafter. But you must take some steps. And then we dance together and we win together.